The thing that brings Fir'aun to his knees is the fact that a believer stood up and spoke the truth. That's all it took. He didn't have a military, he didn't have a weapon, he didn't have anything. He just had to use whatever position Allah had given him to stand up and speak the truth. And this man, who we don't even know his name, has a speech that is 2-3 pages in the Quran. We're not going to get to it. But the fact that Allah is He values the believer who uses his position to stand up for the truth. People are in a position to stand up for the truth, and they don't use it. They stay quiet because they're afraid of the consequences. Can you imagine if this man keeps sitting down and doesn't say anything because he knows, look, if I open my mouth about this, I'm going to be killed. I'm going to die. This thought is going to cross his mind. This is, by the way, the worst consequence. If I speak up, maybe not only will I be killed.
You haven't even opened the book for 30 years, and you decide to start reading Quran today. You can't even get through Bismillah. You don't even know what a ba looks like anymore. Now you have to learn like children. There are people who are your age who can read like adults, but you have to read like a child. But that's okay. That's okay. When you learn even that alif or that ba, and you make a little bit struggle closer to Allah, and you died that way, maybe you're better than even an alim. Maybe you're better than a hafiz of Quran, who memorized the whole book but has no appreciation, didn't want to make themselves a better person. Because who wants to make themselves a better person is in the heart, and Allah knows that. So don't underestimate where you are with Allah. People can underestimate you, Allah does not underestimate you. People make it sound like guidance from Allah is hard, it's expensive, it doesn't come easy. And Allah is opening the doors of it wide open. He's just asking for you and me to embrace it and say, Ya Allah, guide me. Bring me a little closer to yourself. And you're heading to your car. And you lean against your car. Or you tap on your car. Or you sit on the back of your car. It's your car. You can do whatever you want. But you're not going to sit on somebody else's car. Because he's going to come and say, excuse me, that's my car. What are you doing? It belongs to me. You have to treat it with a certain care because it doesn't belong to you. When you and I deal with each other, we're not just dealing with a person. We're dealing with someone who belongs to Allah Azza wa Jal. And you have to be careful when you deal with something that belongs to Allah. You have to be cautious. The taqwa of Allah isn't just our relationship with Allah. The taqwa of Allah is also there when we deal with each other. Because we're dealing with something that's the milkiyah of Allah. This one has a Rabb. You can't just talk to them.
I have a friend, some of you might have heard of him. His name is Robert Davila. The man can't move any part of his body other than his face. He can't move any part of his body. What did he ever do to deserve that? Nothing. But how many people have accepted Islam because of his disability? How many people have just heard about that and have come back to Allah? How many people that were ungrateful in life, even though they were Muslim, they were only Muslim by name, and decided to submit their heart back to Allah because that man is sitting in a bed. His suffering, his pain becomes guidance for millions of people. You understand? Sometimes the difficulty you and I go through is actually a small price to pay for Allah.